Hey everyone, how's it going? Puntastic77 here, coming to you some Team Fortress 2. Hope you're doing well. I'm playing a little bit of the medic here with the stock medi gun, the Uber Saw, and the Crusader's Crossbow. You know, the standard medic loadout here. And we're playing a little bit of payload on Snowy Coast. Snowy Coast is a map I really don't play that much, but after playing a few games on it this weekend, I really did like it, and I will probably be playing more of it here. I usually don't include it in my payload rotation that I usually play of Upward, Gold Rush, etc., etc., Frontier. But let's get right into the topic that I wanted to talk about. And with 2016 coming to a close in a few weeks here, I just wanted to talk about 2016 and how positive it was, because I hear a lot of things and I see a lot of things on the internet here about people who say that 2016 was a horrible year, it was such a bad year for everything, and you hear all the reasons why, like I stubbed my toe on January 15th at the beginning of this year, and then in September, you know, I got a paper cut, this was such a bad year. And if you haven't caught the theme of a lot of my videos that I make, I am very much anti-complaining when it comes to TF2, when it comes to life, when it comes to whatever. I mean, people have the right to complain about things. Life sucks sometimes, but there's also a lot of good things to be thankful for and to just enjoy. So I wanted to talk about some of the good things that happened here in 2016 and see what you all think, and maybe we can end the year on a good note. And yes, there were some bad things that happened, but you're going to get that every year, and I don't think one year is worse than the other. You know, comparatively speaking, if something bad happens in one part of the world, something good's got to happen in the other side. That's at least what I think here. So let's talk a little bit about some of the good things that happened. So politically, that's the first thing I want to talk about, is because people always talk about how bad it was, you know, for politics this year, you know, whether you're in the United States or Europe, and you see some of the things that have been happening. You've been seeing a lot of, you know, like white supremacy going on, and a lot of fascism, and a lot of like nationalism going on, which isn't bad in a lot of ways, but the way that it's being handled this time around is pretty bad, but it hasn't usually been handled well. But regardless, politically, there were also a lot of good things that happened. For example, medical marijuana was legalized in a lot of states around the United States, and I, for one, consider that a very good thing. It shouldn't be, you know, a decriminalized thing. I think a lot of people are just accepting that, you know, this is something positive and it will benefit people, and not everybody has to do it. You know, you can't force people not to do it, but you can't force people to do it as well. And that's a good stance to have with a lot of things, is just let people do what they want unless it's harming other people. So politically, you got to look at, you know, a lot of the positive things that happened when it comes to states' rights, and I think that's going to be happening a lot in the next 4 years, but that's politics. In regards to science, there was a lot of good things that happened in science and inventions and discovery this year. For example, the orange-fleshed sweet potato was kind of made more accessible for people. So what this is a potato that can be grown in anywhere, and they've been using it in Africa to help, you know, where there's a lot of droughts, there's a lot of famine, there's a lot of, you know, need for a crop that can grow very well. And, you know, this orange flesh sweet potato has been doing the job. So if you don't know about it, go check it out here. In the United States, when it comes to another scientific fact or another thing that happened this year in 2016, heart disease deaths went down by 70% in the United States. And if you don't know, heart disease is the #1 medical killer in the United States. So that's always a good thing to see that we're taking care of the things that are killing us, but hopefully, you know, no other hopefully more things will be taken care of that are like that. You know, people die, people always die. When it comes to celebrities, people always talk about how, oh, you know, we lost this celebrity this year, you know, Harambe died or whatever the meme is. But, you know, people always die every year. It's tragic, it sucks, but, you know, it is part of life, and you just gotta enjoy people when they were living and what they brought to society. That's what I believe, at least. And it's not the last person who's gonna die, and it's not for sure the first person who's died. Going back to science here, because I really think that science is a way for us to stay positive and stay happy. When it comes to something globally that impacts us all, is This is the first time in like 30 or 40 years that the ozone layer is actually rebuilding itself since we got rid of CFCs, which is like aerosol spray cans. And so it really shows that, recycling and helping the earth is actually helping itself. The ozone layer is coming back, and hopefully this is not just a one-year trend and it's something that can keep happening. If you like animals, the tiger population is going up. That's something really positive, These are things that were almost hunted to extinction, much like many animals. And I've always wanted, I've always said that there's animals that I wish were alive today, like the dodo, as dumb as it sounds. I'd really love to meet a dodo. Going on to where tigers live, I guess, is India planted 50 million trees in like 24 hours one day. I think it was 50 million trees in 24 hours, or it was like throughout the year, because that sounds like a really high number. But good on India for planting all these trees when you have a lot of places with deforestation. So good on that for planting all those trees. When it comes to inventions, I'm a huge proponent of people inventing things and progressing society forward. SpaceX has been launching rockets to try and get us to Mars, The United States has been cutting funding to NASA, and there's a lot of like political stuff that people use for space agencies, like Russia and China. But SpaceX is trying to get to the moon, and Elon Musk, I must admit, is a hero of mine. I was never really a big fan of Steve Jobs, but Elon Musk is what I would consider my Steve Jobs, because he sees a problem and he wants to fix it. And he says, you know what, if no one else is going to do this, then I'm going to do it. Oil companies are keeping cars down, the electric cars down. I'm going to build my own, electric car, and people will use it. It's going to be great. We can't get to Mars because of this political thing, and there's not enough funding. I'm going to build my own rocket. That's great. And in fashion sense, I got a sick tip that light-up shoes for adults are back in style. So I'm very excited about that. I will probably not be getting a pair for myself because they probably don't make them in my size. But if they do make light-up shoes in my size and I see a pair, I might pick them up. So definitely keep a lookout for light-up shoes, like those little steppy ones that toddlers have with the Velcro. Keep an eye on those. In regards to movies, I thought it was a very good year for movies, honestly. Like, I think the last 4 or 5 years we've seen like an overuse of CGI effects, like cheesy CGI effects. I mean, I remember I saw Avatar in Blu-ray, the blue one, not the Airbender one, and I thought the CGI in that was kind of corny, but this year they really stepped it up with the movies. Leonardo DiCaprio got his first Oscar for that movie where he got mauled by the bear, which was a very good movie. I saw it like 3 times, but I can't remember the name of it for some reason, but it was a good movie. Check it out. And I actually watched movies this year, so that's the good thing about that, is I actually took time to watch movies, because usually I don't have the patience to sit down and watch a movie. So, I mean, that's gotta say something. If I could sit down and watch a movie, like even Deadpool, I saw Deadpool like 2 weeks ago, and I thought it was a decent movie. I didn't really think it was like amazing as people thought it was, but Deadpool, pretty good. Yeah, so other than that, I mean, TV shows, there's a lot of great TV shows that have been out and that finished this year and that are starting. There's this one I've been watching, I've been praising it the whole time, Man-Seeking Woman on Hulu. You can probably download it illegally or stream it illegally. Man-Seeking Woman, it's a comedy, it's hilarious, I like it a lot here. But yeah, those are just some of the things in 2016 that I thought were really positive, and a lot of this stuff I found on Reddit or online, and top 10 lists that people make, and you know how I feel about top 10 lists, but I thought this was a pretty good one to round the year. So stay positive, let me know what you think about 2016, and what was your favorite moment of this year. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.